Okay, so this is just a quick video on how to set up the template that you can download from my website, how to get it working. I had a couple of emails just from people a little bit unsure of how to set the MIDI automation. Okay, so this is the template and how it looks when it opens up. Probably the first thing you'll see is down here you've got the MIDI output for the metronome channel is marked in red. That simply just means that we need to initiate the drivers to do so. So if you're running this on a Mac, it's really easy. If you go into Audio MIDI Setup, which is located within Programs Utilities, and go into the MIDI window, you'll see that in there is an inbuilt driver called IAC driver. Click into that one and make sure that that device is online. You may need to click down here to add a port. For my advanced template I use bus 1 and bus 2. You would need just bus 1 for this. Click apply and that will add that driver. Next thing you need to do, go back into live, go into preferences, go into the MIDI tab, and under control surfaces select bus 1 for an input and output. And I'm not sure the configuration of these lights, so to be lazy I just turn them all on, but I think you just need track and remote, but I turn them all on anyway. So do that, and then you'll see that down here you've got the MIDI output as on. Have this AC driver, bus 1, and then have the next one down as channel 1. And under my MIDI tabs, effectively what's happening is this channel here is sending a MIDI note, and it's sending it out onto the AC driver. What the AC driver does is it takes MIDI out of the program, and then uses Apple's internal system to bring it back into the program, and I've matched it up here to control note. Channel 1, 44, CC note MIDI 44. And that allows the automation for the metronome to take place. I'll show you what that means. Sometimes we use an alternative click, so we're not using Ableton's click, we're using another click which we put in a separate channel here. Or sometimes we want to trigger off an ambient pad that doesn't have a click. So if I trigger off the happy day count in, let me just turn that off so you only hear the click. You should hear the click in the background now. Now if I wanted to trigger off a file that doesn't need the click, or I don't want the click for, I would load in one of these brown ones in. You could just copy and paste that in. So now if I trigger off this ambient pad here, on the first beat of the bar, as it triggers the pad, it turns the metronome off. And then as I go back down and trigger off something with a click again, one of these yellow ones, you'll see it turns the click on. So it's really straightforward, and again all I do is I match down here these different master triggers to my control panel on my foot controller. So down here I might assign this one to one note, this one to another note, so I actually can move around my set, not worrying about the metronome, it'll turn it on and off as I like. Second question was Happy Day, how I actually control and run Happy Day, so I'm just going to show you that one. There's 3 controls that I set against my foot controller for the whole of Happy Day. First one, or maybe 4. First one is to trigger off Happy Day itself, which is here. The next one is to go into the intro. Then I set one for the verse 2 and the instrumental. So those are the only 3 that I actually set off. You can also set one for the chorus and the breakdown and the bridge if you want to, but I only actually use 3. So let me show you how that works. If we press our first button on our foot controller, we get this, and if I turn the audio on, you'll hear that again. So we get this, turn that down. So we get the Happy Day bed, or the I've Got a Feeling bed that kind of runs underneath. Sometimes we'll do some talking or some hype over this, or just kind of set the tone. The drummer will then click in on the 3 and the 4, and as he clicks in, I press the button to move into the intro. So let's just try that. 3, 4, and we trigger into the Happy Day. Now we have the electric guitar playing on top of this, bass, drums, anything else that we've got in the band, playing the usual kind of intro chords for Tim Hughes' Devotion to Happy Day. Now, if you saw what happened then, but it played the intro, and we've set this to play for 8 bars down here, you'll see that, 8 bars, and then go down to the next one, so it's gone on to verse 1. Verse 1's playing for 18 bars, and then moving down to the chorus. So we've set this to automate, to just move between verse 1 and chorus. So if I trigger off chorus, you'll see that when it finishes the chorus, it's actually queued to go back to verse 1. And this will just keep happening. It will just keep doing chorus and verse 1 until you intervene. Now there's a couple of ways you can intervene. You could move straight to verse 2, or to the breakdown, or to the bridge. We tend to go to the breakdown next, so I'll jump straight to breakdown now, but you would do this at the end of the chorus. And the breakdown just sits there, and we sometimes will put a rap section in here if we've got an MC working with us. We might do some hype, we might just sing "Oh happy day," or again you can sing the whole chorus. When we finish this section, so sorry, the first 8 bars is simple drum beat, and then the second 8 bars has got an extra kind of kick in there. When we finish this, we trigger off this button here. So this is assigned to a foot controller, and this will trigger off our version of verse 2 of Happy Day When I Stand in That Place, along with the instrumental for I've Got a Feeling. So let me trigger that now. When I stand in that place, free at last. What it's actually doing is it's playing the same Happy Day verse that we've used here to give it a feeling, but it's also got the instrumental for I've Got a Feeling that you can hear underneath this. Now the only thing we don't do this is we don't play the last G chord to go back into the chorus. So here, celebrate, Jesus is alive, and we simply go 1, 2, 3, go, and we move into Happy Day. Into I've Got a Feeling. Happy Day stops playing, and then we go into the instrumental. We put a couple of breaks in for fun. So, and stop, and jump, and we have a bit of fun in here, a bit of hype in, and this is set to play after the 32 bars and move up to the bridge and the final chorus. So we wait for this section to finish. And oh what a glorious day. And it sounds a bit of a weird change here, but with the rest of the band on top it actually works really nicely. That you have saved me. Then there's a dropout, but the vocal cue brings you into this.
Dropout.
Happy day, happy day.
Yeah.
You wash my sin away, and so on. Then there's a repeat. We go back and sing Happy Day again, the chorus.
Repeat.
Oh, happy day. We don't play the final kind of F transition chord to go out. We just kind of go straight out on the bigger note. So this is the last kind of chord sequence. Same chords as you would usually play for Happy Day. One, two, three. We end on a big note. And again, the loop stops, but you can have the band still kind of going or rolling on cymbals or whatever. So that's how the template works. A few little things to set up. That's how you run Happy Day. I hope that has been helpful for you. Any questions, drop me an email. I'll be more than happy to help. God bless.